What's going on, fragrance family? It's your man Gator, better known as the novice nose out here in these fragrance streets. Guys, I am super excited about the fragrance I get to talk to you guys about today. But before I even get into all of those things, I want you to do a favor for me, man. Make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell too so that you're aware of anytime I post a video. And also make sure you share this video with someone you know that loves fragrance, man. I'm gonna do a little bit of a call to action at the beginning of the video here, and I'll probably do it at the end too. Can't have enough calls for action. But today, guys, I wanted to talk about a fragrance from one of my favorite houses, man, and that's the house of Mancera. Now, if you are a fan of the channel, you know that I ain't lying when I say that I am a fan of that particular house. I've got, you know, gold and brown bags laying out everywhere here, right in camera shot. So I am a huge fan of the house, man. Pierre Montal, his team do beautiful work, man. Beautiful niche perfumery at an affordable niche perfumery, man. But they don't skip on the quality at all. It's always a treat when I see them releasing new fragrances because you never know what you're gonna get. Pierre Montal and his team, man, they do some great work there. As a matter of fact, this year they have been doing a lot of releases here. Anything from Amberful to, which I love Amberful. It is one of my favorite, not just Mancera's in my collection, but one of my favorite fragrances here. Definitely one of my favorite fragrance pickups this year. Cherry Cherry is out there right now. I see Cinq de Terre's coming. And then a couple of other ones, Fig Me Up, that was one I'm super excited about. And then there was one that dropped along with Amberful that didn't get as much hype as Amberful did. Now, Amberful's a super versatile fragrance. The other one, people had questions about. Now, the fragrance in question is this one. This is Mancera's Eternal Wood, and if I get it out of the box, you know how I do. I always keep that gold bag around here. But yeah, this is Mancera's Eternal Wood. So when I saw the notes on this thing, I got super excited about it. So before I get into anything else, let me get into the notes. So the top notes on this one are saffron, Laotian oud, and Divana. Middle notes are copal, Palo Santo, Gaiac wood, and cashmere wood. And then the base notes you have toffee, which is a surprise here, tonka bean, amber, and oak moss. So as you see, that note breakdown is a gem by itself. So I got super excited about it when I saw it. Let me, of course, you know, Mancera sprayers are always bomb. I'm gonna put a little bit on the strip here. I actually had a couple of different wearings on this particular fragrance, and oh my gosh. So first thing about this fragrance, as soon as you spray it on, you get punched. I mean, it is a very punchy opening. It comes out swinging, man. It's got that saffron and that Laotian oud. Now, Laotian oud's usually a softer type of oud, but that saffron is adding texture to it, and I mean, they have it amped up pretty high, and it is punching, it is swinging when you first, it's almost overwhelming when you first spray. You know how red tobacco is when you first spray red tobacco on? It's kind of like that. Amberful actually has that same type of vibe to it. It'll destroy your nose if you spray too much on that initial spray. That's kind of what this is. But Mancera's known for powerful fragrances, and so that's nothing, you know, out of the ordinary. But I will say, just mind your spray, that initial spray, when you first put it on. Make sure you're not spraying anywhere in here. Make sure it's kind of on the back shoulder or even on the arm, because it hits you. Now, I just put it on the test strip right now. Mancera is known for those powerful fragrances. The room is lit up right now. So what you're getting, like I said, is that Laotian oud. It is a softer oud, but it's still a powerful oud. And along with that saffron hyping it up here, like I said, it gives you that really punchy opening. Now, shortly into it, I would say maybe into the 3 to 4 to 5 minute dry down on this, and you start getting a little bit more of the spiciness of this opening. I think that a lot of that is coming from, it doesn't say that there's like a pepper or anything in here, but it does give like a spicy, peppery type of opening here. And I think a lot of that may just actually be coming from the saffron and the way that, you know how saffron kind of translates when it's in the air. It definitely gives you those nose feels of a peppery, almost leathery type of feel. And along with that Loation oud, man, it is a beautiful combo. It is a strong and powerful combo, but it is beautiful nonetheless. So like maybe about 45 to an hour into the dry down here, you start really getting that strong smoky type of wood. It's not as much as the oudy type of wood. It is more of that smoky, that dry smoky type of nuance that starts really kicking in there, and it actually comes across almost kind of fresh in the way that it presents itself, and that actually maintains itself here within the first few hours that you're wearing this fragrance. Now, one of the things though that is very sneaky on this fragrance, but I love to death, is the fact that it has this toffee note. And that toffee note gives it a little bit of depth and a little bit of sweetness. So as that, like I said, that opening starts punching you right into that 20 to 30 minute mark, you start getting a little bit of that sweetness start kind of peeking its head up through all of those other notes in the mids and all that kind of stuff. You start getting a distinct hit of that sweetness from the toffee in here. It almost gives it like a caramelly type of like undertone to the fragrance, and that lasts 2-3 hours in. It really does present itself as being kind of a soft, subtle, sweet, woody, smoky amalgamation of a fragrance, and it really performs very well. At that 3 to 4 hour mark, this is still pumping off of your skin, and it goes on. I mean, you're looking at about 8 hours to 9 hours on skin. I know that when I wore it in the office, it lasted all day. And are we surprised at all to know that Mancera fragrances are going to last all day? I mean, they perform so well, and this is no exception to that rule. I mean, you're looking at, 8 or 9 hours on skin, on clothes. This just, it kicks, it lasts. I made sure when I wore it the second time to just kind of make sure that I didn't put it directly on clothes, because it will sit there and it will last. The outfit that I wore the first day, 3-4 days before I got to get it into laundry, and it was still strong. I was still even picking up a little bit of that sweet nuance from the toffee in day 4. That should go to tell you how strong this particular fragrance is. Like I said, akin almost to a red tobacco. It doesn't smell like red tobacco, but that type of presence is what you're looking at on this fragrance. I love it. I love it. So, elephant in the room time. This fragrance gets compared a lot to Initio's Oud for Greatness in the intro, and it is. If you've ever had Oud for Greatness, you get a little bit of that that power, that punchiness, that dry oudy sense there, with a little bit of that saffron texturing that goes on in the top of that particular fragrance. It does present that way in here. Of course, you don't get the toffee or anything, but the intro of the fragrance, they are very similar. And then I've seen people compare this to Haltane in the dry down. I can see that. I can definitely see that. The praline is a different note than the toffee, but they do both kind of have like a sweet caramelly type of vibe to it. I think Haltane actually gets a little bit more smoky and ashy than this one does. This one's a little bit smoother in that sense of the word. The other one that I hear about, and I know it's just because of the toffee and the tonka bean, is the Azzaro Most Wanted. I could actually see that too. As you get into that second and third hour, you do get a little bit of that Azzaro Most Wanted vibe, the way that the tonka and toffee actually play off of this, I caught myself. The way that the tonka and toffee play off of each other in the fragrance, you can actually get a little bit of that Azzaro Most Wanted vibe. This is almost like an Azzaro Most Wanted elixir if you were to look at it like that, because it does seem almost like if you were to add the Azzaro Most Wanted, you were to add some oud to it and a little bit of smoke, you would probably get something like this. Oh, and amp up the performance 100 times, you would get this. So I could see that comparison as well. Again, Oud for Greatness, Haultain, the Most Wanted, some of the most popular fragrances that are out there on the market, and also some of the most complimented fragrances out there on the market. So to be inspired by those fragrances and kind of roll them all into one, hey, I mean, I don't see why there would be a problem with that. It is the best of all worlds in that sense. I actually would think that people may actually prefer this fragrance to Oud for Greatness, or prefer this fragrance to Haultain. This fragrance is rich. This fragrance is robust. It is very well blended as well. I mean, you see all the notes in this fragrance, but you don't really pick up a little, I mean, it's Mancera. You know that they're going to do a great job as far as the perfumery. Their perfumery is going to be top notch here. But it is, like I said, very rich, very robust. The performance is there. This is going to be one of those fragrances that I think people are going to look back on in the next couple of years and say, this was one of the best releases in the last 10 years from Mancera. I think it's just that good. It's not out like way off of the beaten trail. It's not like a Fig Me Up or any of those that, you know, just kind of spark the imagination to what it can be. This is very much in the vein of an Oud for Greatness. It is very much in the vein of a Haultain, or any of those very oud forward, dry oud but kind of sweet fragrances. It's very much in the vein of those, but it does it so well that I could say it makes a peer, if not surpasses, a lot of what those other fragrances are actually trying to do. As far as preference goes, I think I would actually prefer this definitely over Oud for Greatness and for Haultain. Haultain kind of gets a little ashy into the dry down. This one stays smooth throughout, and like I said, that little added note of toffee, that little subtle sweetness that's in there, and you know what happens when you have the sweetness in the fragrance. The compliment factor continues to stay around as long as that does, and it's gonna amplify, you know, the appeal of the fragrance even more as it dries down. I think that if I was to, advise somebody which one to get out of Oud for Greatness, Haultain, and the Mancera, price point, performance, and to be completely honest, an improvement on the way that the fragrance presents, I would definitely recommend this one. And this is the time of year right now, going into fall and winter, that I think that people are going to start really recognizing how great it is, probably within the next couple of months here, because it is definitely made for the fall and the winter. Beautiful fragrance, and I'm looking forward to getting more wears on it. It's gorgeous. That's all I got on this particular fragrance, guys. If you guys put your nose on this, let me know in the comments. And as always, told you I was gonna call it again. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and of course, share this video with someone you know that loves fragrance. Until next time, guys, I'm out of here. Peace out.